Hi, so are you looking to increase your followers? Make sure you subscribe to unlock my tweet.
Yo, you looking to increase the size of your egg roll?
Buy my merchandise, please. Looking to transition into another woman? Oh, God. For Palestine. So I'm taking that as a no.
Liberals against Trump. Donate to Bill.
Buy some shitty coffee and support my page.
Support Biden 2024.
Good morning, everyone. Comrade John here, mate. It is February the 1st. Hi, how you going? Listen, again, folks, just engaging you in a conversation. Don't want you to join anything. I'm trying to sell you everything. You're never going to get me to sell you any merchandise. I'm never going to ask you to vote for me, ever. After this war's over, mate, you're never going to hear from me again. But until we win this war and clean it up, clean it up outright, I just want to be allowed to engage in a conversation, and that's what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. You are of no value to me or to this nation in these times. If you are a blind follower, you're no value. You're worth nothing. Zero. You must become your own person. You must stand in your own truth, and you must be educated. Okay, I'm looking for a meeting of the minds. Okay, meeting of the minds. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, people. Because why? You ask. Come on, John. Why would you want that? Well, we manifest. We manifest when we have a meeting of the minds, and that's why this war on information and the truth is operating, right? They don't want us as a nation and a global community. They don't want us to have a meeting of the minds where we are all of an understanding, a clear understanding on what the real truth is, right across the board, right? All this external deceptions, all of this stuff that's been used to blindfold us and to trick us, right? And also, more importantly, of who we are, who we really are, and our power, okay, to manifest a new reality. They don't want us to discover our true purpose and who we are. Okay, so there is a war on for our minds, and the prize is our spirit, right? Our spirits. Remember, folks, we're not just a bag of skin and bones. We are a spiritual being. Okay. Now, if you want to know more on that, go and talk to my cosmic, beautiful, heavenly friends out there. They know this stuff back to front, mate. Jesus, they're smart cookies. I don't quite understand it all myself. It's above my pay grade, and it's not really what I do, but I believe everything they're saying is correct, and they're smart cookies. Okay, move on, guys. Look, there was a tweet tonight by Craig Kelly, okay, and he's saying, we've won this war, right? We've won it. And he's right. I mean, I said that months ago when I done an interview with Rick Bosey. I said, hey, we've won this war, mate. These satanic bastards, mate, they're finished. They're in this death cult, this global death cult that is holding Australia to ransom. They're finished, mate. They're in a tailspin and they can't get out of it. But the thing is that no, Craig, it wasn't you that's won this war. It wasn't you. It was us. And who are us? Those people that took all the fucking risks, mate. Those people that had nothing to gain, and risked everything everything, mate. Ordinary people. Just near me, in the marina where I am, up here, there's a bottle shop, takeaway bottle shop. There was a single mum up there who I met and swapped phone numbers with. And she told me, "You're Commo John. You're Commo John." I said, "Yeah, yeah." He said, "Oh, I know who you are. Hi, how you going?" And she explained to me that, she was a single mum. She had a hostile ex-husband who wasn't protecting her children. And she was desperately working 2 jobs, holding a family together. And, and fully red-pilled and was trying to fight the war at the same time, risked everything. She was so scared of having her children taken off them, which is what these courts, cops, and child protection services do. I mean, they are criminal. As we now know, with our interview with Dave Guro with Amanda, and you know what I mean. Anyway, Craig Kelly has won nothing, mate. 0. He contributed sweet fuck all. Sweet fuck all. He took 0 risks. He was being fully paid, fully subsidised, everything, by Clive Palmer. By Clive, the red shoe wearing Freemason, by Clive Palmer. I'm telling you now, guys, these Freemasons in Australia, these Freemasons here in Australia, mate, know that their plan is collapsing, and they know it's gone, and they know there's going to be a reset, and they know it's going to be a Donald Trump reset. And what they're trying to do is, A, protect their ill-gotten gains. Protect it, right? That's the first thing. Make sure that they come out right on top so they can start again. So they can fucking start again, mate, with their secret oaths, their secret handshakes, and their secret societies. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is, mate, they're trying to they're trying to hide in amongst us. Because when the crunch comes and when the military starts coming to do the cleanup, mate, the only protection they have is to hide in amongst us. Just like the Jews. You understand? This is how they operate. The Knights of Malta, the Jesuits, the Freemasons, the Ashkenazi Jews. The Ashkenazi Jews, mate, hide in amongst, these other fucking Jews. And in order to get them, and then they get everyone, to hate them. And then what they do is we go and massacre the Jews. Most of them are fucking innocent, done nothing to no one, right? Okay, they give us, when we want blood, when we want revenge, right? They will give it to us. They'll go and grab a heap, and even some of their own people, they hate their own. They'll sacrifice their own and give them to us so we satisfy our blood urge, our revenge, right? And then they pull off the hat, shave the beard, cut their hair, put another fucking set of clothes on, and change their name to O'Reilly or to, Smith or Wilson, and move to another country and take on a new identity. That's what they do. They hide in amongst us. And that's what here in Australia, that's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to hide in amongst us, the freedom people, ordinary people. That's their protection. They know it's coming. They know the great reset, not Klaus Schwab's, Donald Trump. The big reset's coming, mate, and they want a slice of the action. They don't give a fuck about the ordinary Australian, mate. They don't care. They do not care. They're gonna appear. What you're gonna see is you're gonna see multiple social media influencers, so-called leaders, you're going to see multiple, all coming out with the same message here. And you're going to say, wow, he said it, and this guy, and over here, right? And you're going to think it's all these individuals, right, all in agreement, when it's not. When you go behind, what you're going to see, folks, is you're going to see it's all coordinated, coming from the one source, right? That's what you're going to see. And that's what they're right now doing. And right now, folks, what they're doing is they're building a posse, an unofficial posse of activists and social media influencers, mate, to take Rick Bosey down. Right? Why? You've got to ask yourself why. Because Bosey, mate, is on a mission, mate. He's focused. He will not be distracted, mate. And he won't compromise, mate. He's on a mission. And that's how military people operate, mate. You know, military people, when they're going in to fight a war, you know, in a war situation, they don't worry about all the bullshit. They're on a mission. And they stick to the mission. That's it. That's what they're trained to do. They're not there to be diluted. They're not there to fucking yap and talk and all this sort of stuff. And Bosey cannot be all things to all people. And I have publicly said, don't even fucking try it. Rick, if you can hear what I'm saying out there, I don't know if you can or not, don't bother. I gave that up fucking 30, 40 years ago, mate. Just be yourself, mate. Be yourself and do what you got to do as best you can with what you got. That's my advice to Bosey and the A1. Don't be distracted by all the yap, 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 yap. But do be aware that there is now a posse, a coalition. And the coalition is Craig Kelly, Palmer. Then you've got Tricky Tritty. You saw in the Brisbane rally, mate, red shoe wearing Palmer being invited up on stage to address the meeting by Tricky Tritty. He's right in bed. Now you've got Dave O'Neeks. You got that fucking ex-cop, mate, rolling down in New South Wales, mate. He's not an ex-cop. He's not an ex-cop, mate. He's still on the fucking payroll, I'll bet you. I'll bet you why, because the New South Wales cops need to have their fucking plants inside of our movement so that they now can, you know, get us to fucking accept their role in all of this as, you know, and soften the blowback. The blowback. You're going to see Graham Hood, he's going to be part of this coalition. And you're going to see others, mate. Keep an eye out for this coalition across the board. Now, Craig, you got Carl Leibold. I mean, he's in there now apologising to these other fucking maggots. These political fucking pissheads, Babbitt and Rennick, these fucking clowns. They're all going to be in this posse, mate. And this posse that comes together is going to is going to be coming out saying Bosey is mad, Bosey is fucking insane, and they're going to call us insane, right? That's going to be their game plan. They're going to lose that. They are going to lose that. That's because the truth that's now coming out, mate, this truth is going to eventually overwhelm them, mate. Okay, so I'm not concerned about this. I'm not concerned. Now, look, another little point, and I'm not sure about this, and again, I don't want to keep coming out and you know, be seen to be such a negative person. I don't. But, you know, I've been through this before. I fought a lot of fucking wars out there, ladies and gentlemen. When I've gone into a situation where, you know, I've got a big tent, big union tent, right, and it's full of fucking backstabbing and full of double crosses and full of arseholes and all the rest of it, right? This big barn, and you've got a lot of good people in it, but you've got all these other, you know, rats inside our, you know, union barn, our barn. Now, at first I try to grab these rats and get rid of them. That's what I try to do at first. But if there's too many of them, and we now have fucking heaps of them inside of this fucking freedom movement, right? Sometimes the only way to clean this shit up is to set the whole fucking barn on fire and see what rats run out of it. If you understand where I'm coming from, mate, to sort the fucking men from the boys and to sort the wheat from the chaff and to sort Freemasons and fucking secret society Jesuits and all these other arseholes away, sometimes you need to set the fucking barn on fire to clean these bastards out, right? Now, I don't know if we're at that point now, but fucking hell, mate, it's getting close. It's getting close. Now, I want to move on. I want to talk just a little bit about Darren Bergwith, and I'm hoping that I misheard this. I'm hoping that I misheard this, and I'm not having a go at Darren. I'm not. If I have a problem with Darren Bergwith, mate, listen, I've got a phone, mate. I'll pick it up and ring him. Okay? But Darren Bergwith, I think, mentioned something to Carl Leibold a few days ago that he's been out doing other stuff, and one of the people that he's, I think I heard this right, where he said, "Oh, I've been hanging out with Nelson Mandela's granddaughter." Okay. Wow, fucking Darren, be careful. Be careful. If this is true, you've been hanging out with Nelson Mandela's granddaughter. Let me tell you, I know Nelson Mandela. I've met him, been introduced to him, mate. When I was president of the Trades Hall Council, mate, we were a huge, huge contributor to the, boycott South Africa and free Nelson Mandela and, get rid of apartheid, all that stuff. And when Nelson Mandela came to Australia to say thank you, the African National Congress, before he went and met Bob Hawke and Paul Keating and all that, the African National Congress said, listen, before you do all that, you get out and meet the president and the secretary of the Trades Hall Council first and thank them. And that was myself as president and Charles McDonald. And Charles was a right winger. He belonged to the Shop, Distributed and Allied Industries Union, a right winger, which I couldn't stand the bastard, but I respected Charles. Charles was an honourable man. Now, Nelson came down, was introduced to myself and Charles McDonald. We had a great old nag. Right? Now, I was on board with all this stuff. Now, later in life, you then find out that Nelson was a Knight of Malta and a Freemason. It wasn't just him, it was Desmond Tutu and others. Right up the Queen's arse, right up the Vatican's arse, right up the central banker's arse, right? Okay, you find this out later on in life. All of this was kept really, really quiet. None of us knew at the time. Had I known, fucking hell. And then now, 2023, 2024, when you look at what's going on in South Africa, with all of the great talk, the fucking beautiful, poignant words about peace and love and everything else, look at what's going on in South Africa right now. White farmers, mate, are being massacred, tortured, and murdered. In their fucking hundreds of them. Hundreds. And South Africa is being fucking destroyed. They got no electricity, all their fucking transport systems, their everything. It's a shithole. And despite being one of a rich and fucking beautiful country, it's a fucking living nightmare. Living nightmare. I was batting for the wrong team. So my advice, Darren, if you're out there, brother, be careful about anyone in the Mandela clan, mate, because they're not who they say they are. They're not. You're talking Freemasons and you're talking Knights of Malta and others. And others, mate. Be careful. Because I'm telling you now, mate, if they can capture my place or have big influence in there, mate, they'll do it. They'll do it and they'll fucking fuck you off. They'll come in and take it over. But be careful, brother. I'm not having a go at you because I'm sure you don't know this stuff. Now let me move on and talk about the farming stuff that's going down in Canberra. Because there's been some fucking shit going on about that and also the vote on the voice. Let me try and cover a couple of these issues, right, and give you my thoughts. Again, folks, I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm just giving you my discussion, right? That's all. I'm not asking you to vote for me. I'm trying to lead you anywhere. You're no good to me. You're no good to me. You're useless to me, and you are useless to your family and useless to this country if you're just a blind sheep follower. Our only real defence here, and to be able to do something with this great nation, mate, is that if we have 26 million people out there that are educated, smart, on the ball. Okay? Now, look, the farming stuff, right? I see. I want to give you now. I got phone calls, mate, from a number of people saying about the farming stuff. Are you going down there? What are you doing? And what's your opinion and that? Now, this is what I've said. This is what I've said. I've said, listen. If you feel like you want to go down there and lend a bit of support, I mean, sure, go down there. Go down there and show a bit of support. Don't fucking go down there causing trouble and all the rest, but go down there and show them a bit of support. But have a look at who's behind it. Make sure that you can see who's organising it, who are the players, and what the agenda is. Because out in rural Australia, I mean, listen, Australia's agricultural industry is not like France, not like what the French farmers are doing, mate. In France, these producers they're not just farmers, they are artisans, mate. They are family people pulling together top quality produce. And then they have this restaurants and, other food, cooks and all this stuff that produce beautiful, beautiful meals. You know what I mean? And they're artisans. Australia's farming industry, they're like broadacre farmer. 1,000 acres of wheat, 1,000 acres of fucking cattle, 1,000 acres of sorghum and rice or whatever the case may be. And they're not necessarily family farmers, but they're big agriculture. There is some still family farmers out there, I mean, primary producers, but I'm telling you, there's not a lot of them left now. I mean, again, the feedback that I get from some towns, mate, they're fucked. They've been destroyed. Most of the family farms in this country have already been destroyed. And in some cases, you can go to these small country towns. People I live in a small town down in, along or close to the Murrumbidgee irrigation area in New South Wales, are telling me, John, you want to see the suicides in our small town. The suicides. I said, what the fuck's going on? And they're saying we have a drug epidemic going on inside our small communities. We've got all these chemical drugs coming in, and our young folk don't seem to have a future. They don't seem to, they've lost, the will to live, and they overdose and just die. And suicide. The other one's suicide. I mean, one family came home and saw their son near the front gate of their rural property and was hanging out of a gum tree, fucking climbed up full of ice and hung himself. And, they drove home, put the headlights up. There's their son. Suicide. So this farming protest down in Canberra, right, and I'm flying blind here, right, that I don't know who's behind this, mate. I don't know. What I fear, and this is what I'm on the lookout for, is that this is not organic. This is not organic. Is that, once again, the Freemasons and Jesuits and, these other fucking, very questionable characters, they see what's going on in France and Germany. They can see there's a big mobilisation, but they can also see there's a huge public support. I mean, all of us here in Australia, I'm sure, are supporting these French farmers. I am, right? And so I think, what I'm worried about is that what they're doing is they're very quickly saying, fuck, let's jump onto this momentum and let's get some tractors down there and call ourselves, farmers, when in fact they're not really farmers, but they're big agricultural people. I mean, Gina Reinhardt's a farmer. She's a farmer. Gina Reinhardt is. I mean, she's a cattle producer. She's a timber producer. She's got, So Gina Reinhardt's a fucking farmer, as an example. But would you call her, a vulnerable farmer who's, going to lose their home and everything else that they've had for 100 years? No, she doesn't give a fuck. She's not taking any risks. So my point to you there is that, look, my observations were that I would have gone down there, but not necessarily go, yeah, and all that sort of stuff, but basically to find out what's going on. That's why I would have went down there, to check that out. Okay? All right. Now, insofar as criticisms and that, and I've just seen these criticisms come up of Bosey and all the rest of it, right? Look, guys, I've already done an upload about we have deep state operatives trying to hijack this movement. We've got a deep state operatives, mate, who are now, they've now got a coalition together, a posse. You can see who they are. You've got Craig Kelly, you've got Clive Palmer, you've got Tricky Tritty. Now Dave O'Neiggs has jumped in. He's an opportunist, mate. He's an opportunist, right? I don't think he's politically motivated. He's a grifter, right? And then you're going to see, Hoodie. Hoodie's already trying to invite Mac, the Freemason, back into the movement. I mean, you've already heard bloody Leibold apologising to the political class, and I've made my point on that. But you watch, Graham Hood's going to be very soon. We're going to have to say, sorry, Qantas, we got you right. You're good people, the Flying Kangaroo. You watch it. You watch it. He's going to be a Qantas apologist, mate. Okay, why? Because he's in the club. He's in the club. And now he's inviting Mac the Freemason back in. I mean, fuck, this stands out. Stands out. And again, folks, you're going to see this coalition. This coalition. They're all going to appear to be operating individually. But in fact, behind them, they're all going to be coordinated. All of them. Rennick, Babbitt, all these other, Kelly, all of them. And their principal line of attack is they're going to run, I think, on two fronts. One, they're going to say, we are saviours. We're the good guys. That's the first thing, when they're not. It is stolen valour. It is stolen valour. No different than a fraud who wears an Australian military uniform, pinning false medals on their chest, walking down an Anzac parade. They're frauds, mate. Frauds. And that's the first thing. So the first thing they need street credibility. They need street credibility, and that's why Tricky and O'Neiggs are doing this Julian Assange stuff. Okay, right? They need street cred, right? They need us to believe that they're the good guys and they won this war. When you and I out there, we know it fuck all to do with them. It's us. It's our blood, sweat and tears and our sacrifice that has drenched has soaked the Australian continent, mate. Us. Fuck, have we suffered. Not me individually. I mean, they wanted to jail me for 2 years and other stuff, mate. You know all that. But there's been a lot of people that have taken huge risks here. Huge risks. For no return. No return. Selfless. Absolute selfless. Okay? Now, Bosey's one of them. He's one of them. I am. I know. My other good friend, Wyatt Wharton, and, and others that I know, right? They've put everything on the line, mate. Everything on the line. For nothing. No return. Selfless. Completely selfless actions. Now, insofar as Kelly's allegation, now this is where again, if Bosey is a World Economic Forum controlled opposition, because Bosey's saying don't vote in the referendum. Now this is the smear. I just want to give you my testimony. Now I didn't vote in the referendum. I didn't vote yes or no. At all, and never was. I didn't tell anyone else what to do. I just said I've made my own mind up. I'm not fucking voting. They can just stick it up their ass. And I want to tell you why. I mean, I've just spent several years unplugging from the matrix. I've got my driver's license, stick it up your ass. I've got other stuff, stick it up your ass. I'm not connecting up. Fuck off with your fraud, right? And I'm not voting at all, and I didn't vote. I'm not controlled opposition from the World Economic Forum. I mean, Dr. Billy Bay didn't vote. Go to his Telegram channel. I mean, he's put the letter up. He's been fined. Now, Now, one, I've unplugged from the matrix, and I don't want to participate in this government or anything, right? Anything, right? Okay. And also, Dr. Billy Bay, and I like Billy. I'm serious. I like Billy. He may be motivated by other things, but I think he's a godly man. I think he's a genuine godly man. I mightn't agree with him and all that sort of stuff, but, you know, I'm trying to work with everyone, mate, who's fighting the same war. Now, Billy went public and said, I've got all this, and he made applications to the High Court and all the rest. He was saying that this entire fucking referendum is a fraud, not legal. So he didn't vote. Is he controlled opposition? Is he? Come on. So I don't think what Rick Bosey said about not voting, I don't think that, you know, it was out of line at all. I mean, I respect those that are still plugged into the matrix and their lives are tangled up in it, and they voted. They voted no, right? The vast majority. I mean, good luck to them. And I respect their decision. But don't fucking point the finger at me and Bosey and Dr. Billy and others for not voting or advocating for not voting. Because, you know, we have no sovereignty. We got a fraud of a Commonwealth government that has no right to put any of this fucking referendum up. And, you know, we've got other very, very good quality advice from the types likes of Billy Bay that saying the whole fucking thing was illegal, unconstitutional. Okay? So, you know, I just wanted to clarify that because, you know, there's a lot of unnecessary angst going out there. And this angst and this split in the freedom movement, mate, and the truth is not coming from Bosey. It's not coming from me. It's coming from this coalition that's being put together, right? And the motivations for this coalition, mate, is that they know this crunch is going to come. They know that we've won this war. They know that the old system is going to collapse, and they want a slice of the action. They want to protect their interests, their wealth. Not Commo John. Not Commo John, mate. I want to eradicate poverty. I want to fucking stop the raping of our nation. I want to see ordinary, you know, people be given opportunity. Not given freebie stuff, opportunity. Big opportunities for everyone. Everyone should have opportunities. If they don't want to take those opportunities up, that's up to them. But I want to see their children, their grandkids be given opportunities. We have a huge change coming, ladies and gentlemen. We have the fourth industrial revolution that's just about being ready to be released. That will change our nation and this world in profound ways. And instead of that fourth industrial revolution being owned by the globalists, it's going to be owned by our people, and it's going to work for us instead of enslaving us. Now, and I've done a video about, do you believe that Donald Trump is the commander-in-chief and, you know, he's the president? And I've got overwhelming reply, yes, right? Okay, so there's now a ton of people out there who now know this, right, or agree with it, right? Now, if I'm wrong and they're right, okay, right, we're wrong. Now, I don't think we're wrong at all. I think the evidence we've given you, mate, proves this point, proves it beyond any fucking reasonable doubt, right? Okay. Now, if that's the case, then, and if Trump is the commander-in-chief and he's the CEO of USA Corporation and all that means Australia is under his control. If he's taken the printing presses and the money creation off the central bank, which he has, they can't issue, they don't have the American people as, you know, their surety for debt and all the rest of it. Trump's taken it all off them. Then why are we worried about central bank digital coin stuff, right? Why? I'm not. Not the least bit worried, because I know it's just they can't do it. Now, if Trump owns Australia, that means that our parliament and all this sort of stuff, right, which we know is a corporation. We know is a corporation. If Trump's running it, then why are we worried about fucking all this stupid fucking digital identification bill and all the rest of it, right? Now, I honestly think this stuff is still out there and playing out for the normies to frighten the fuck out of the normies, to put pressure on them, to get them to come to the realisation that government and stuff like that is not, is not on their side, rotten. And that's why I think it's going on there. And I think that part of the movie is not meant for us, right? So I'm not the least bit worried about misinformation bill, digital ID, central bank. I'm not worried about any of it, because I think that's all part of the movie. So, folks, now, don't freak out. Don't freak out. I mean, listen, I know I get emotional sometimes, and I've had to go and talk to some of my highly skilled spiritual friends out there, and what they're saying to me, John, listen, brother, you've been badly traumatized. You don't even know it. You've been badly watching all this poverty and hardship and all this other stuff that you know about, what they're doing to young children and enslaving people. What they were going to do, mate, has really fucked you up. You need to meditate. You need to come to terms with this stuff. You need to, back off a bit and adjust and perhaps I do. Perhaps I do. You can already notice I'm trying not to swear too much in this fucking upload. I'm trying, guys, to be a better man. Don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. Straight talk, guys. Straight talk. So, listen, I've got a few things I think I've got to work on, mate, because I know, mate, that I'm not the same man. I'm changed. I don't know what the future holds for me, mate. I don't know. I know that I'm not going to be going back to my old life. It's finished. It's just finished. I know that I've got to forge a new life, and I don't know where it's going to take me, and I don't know, what it is. I just don't know. So I'm trying to get my, my spirit, myself prepared for these massive changes. I'm trying to be a better man. I've got a lot to make up for, mate. I mean, I've been on the wrong side of history, mate, and I've been a fierce warrior for the wrong team. And I'm not apologising to you, mate. I'm telling you, I'm not. I was fooled. I shouldn't have been doing it. But I wasn't the only one, mate, that got conned by the central bankers and the Khazarian mafia. Go and look at all the Australian military, our Anzacs, our World War One, our World War Two people, our Korean diggers who went over and fought in Korea, Vietnam, and all the rest of them, mate. They all got conned too, mate. They all thought they were fighting for freedom and everything. No, they weren't. No, they weren't, mate. They were carrying out an agenda on behalf of the Khazarian mafia and the central bankers. That's what they were doing, mate. And they sacrificed so much, mate, so much, because they were batting for the wrong team. Just like me, we all got fooled, all of us, mate. So I'm trying to make up for that. I'm trying to be a better person out of this. So anyway, thanks for giving me an opportunity to engage in the discussion with you again, folks. Let's be a little bit kind to each other. Let's not yell and scream and get too upset with each other. We're not going to agree on everything. I mean, my channel, mate, is starting to work beautifully in the chat, mate. I've got some fantastic people in the chat there, mate. Some fantastic people, and we are really educated, and some great researchers in there, and we're working together. Lots of love in there. Lots of people trying to help each other out. So Thank you to all those people that have engaged. I don't have to boot too many people out, you know, the odd pissant that wants to get in there and create problems, but mostly they're great people. So thank you to all of those people on my channel. I hope I haven't been too confronting to you. I've warned everyone when they come in, mate, you've got to be 18 plus to join my channel. You've got to be a mature audience, and you've got to expect, you know, some straight talk, and it might, you know, curl your hair. Okay. Now I'm going to try to be a better communicator. I'm not good at this, guys. I'm not good. I'm an old communist, mate. Just fucking, we're revolutionaries. So look, thanks for giving me that time. Thanks for allowing me to engage with this in this conversation with you. It's been great. I hope that we can keep doing this. Good night, guys, or good morning, guys. Thank you very much. And once again, I'm stuck with you bastards, whether I like it or not, and you, my friends, are fucking stuck with me. I can't get my freedom unless you get yours. Let's do it together. Thank you.